So in this video, I'm going to showcase the Dynavap Vapcap M. This is a dry herb vaporizer. It's the cheapest one you can get. I picked this one up for 55 pounds. Yeah, I've seen in the US that's about $70. You could probably get it cheaper in some places. If you look online, you'll probably get a much better deal. But this is a dry herb vaporizer. And in this video, I'm basically just going to explain why using this thing is probably the best thing you could purchase for somebody who smokes weed daily like I do, or if you're a heavy smoker, which I can be sometimes. Every other month I tend to smoke pretty heavily, but yeah. So this is probably going to be the best thing that you can buy. So 55 pounds, $70, what is it? This thing is basically a weed vaporizer. So what you do is, I've already got some weed in there, but you've got this cap on the thing, you take it off, and you look inside, you fill up some weed. Now, I have about a gram ground up here. Inside there is probably a point 0.1, or maybe if you could probably push to about point 0.4 of a gram in there, which is quite a lot. That'll be a pretty packed bowl, but on average about point 0.1, point 0.2 of a gram. So you're using a lot less weed. And the way this thing works is you heat it up and you wait for a click and you basically vape your weed. And essentially when you use this thing, you're not smoking and combusting your weed like you usually do when you roll a blunt or you roll a joint. So you're able to be a lot healthier. You're not smoking any of that cancerous material. You're not smoking tar. You're not smoking, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So you heard that click. It's ready to be hit. Oh, sorry. That was a pretty big hit, but yeah, don't touch the cap. It's pretty hot. Um, so yeah, so essentially with this thing, you're vaporizing your weed. So you're gonna hear another click, and that tells you that it's ready to be heated up again. And with a bowl, you can probably heat up about, maybe if you're pushing it 5 times. Um, and this thing really hits. As you can see, everything I blew out there, that wasn't smoke, that was vapor. Because if I open this thing up, it's a bit cooler now, so I could take this off and show you. All that weed is still in there. And you don't have to throw this away in the bin. You could just take this, put it in a jar to the side, and use it for edibles. That weed is still good to be used again. So it's a much more efficient way to use your weed. And when you're smoking joints, blunts, or bowls, that weed is being set on fire. It's combusting. And in the end, you get ash. Whereas this, you've got all the weed here. That's basically just an oven. Um, and the great thing about this is that you're not, like I said, you're not smoking all that cancerous material, none of that carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. There's so many things online about why vaping is better than smoking. But yeah, basically with this thing, you're vaping your weed and you're taking in all that goodness, all that THC, all that CBD without any of the cancerous material, which is great. And also, I describe the high as kind of more like a concentrate high. So it's kind of like taking a dab. Um, or it's closer to that than it is to the effect you get when you smoke in a joint or a blunt. So the high is a lot stronger. When you vape your weed, it's a lot stronger. When you smoke a joint, only about 20% of the THC in that joint is being effectively used because the rest of it is just burning off. You're literally burning it and it's turning to ash. Whereas with this thing, you're literally extracting all the goodness from the weed without any of the carcinogenic crap. So it's stronger and you use a lot less weed. I'm talking about point 0.1 for every bowl, and you can hit this thing maybe 5 times. Like you're gonna be pretty fucking toasted at the end of it. And not just that, you're using a lot less weed, so you're gonna save yourself a lot of money. So that 55 pounds that you spent on it, that $70, you're gonna make that back so much quicker, and you're saving yourself so much weed because you don't need to use as much to get just as high. And this thing gets you pretty high. If you want to feel the effect of a whole ass joint or a whole ass blunt, maybe 1 or 2 bowls of this thing, and you're gonna be flying pretty high. Um, and the nice thing about the high is that it's not so couch locky and groggy. It's one of those highs. It's a lot clearer. That's what I mean by it's kind of like a concentrate high. It's a lot clearer. You don't feel so couch locked and things like that. And I'm not saying that this thing is totally going to get you off smoking. You know, maybe you want to enjoy a joint or a blunt every once in a while. I know I do. But this thing, over the long run, is going to save you a lot of money and a lot of weed. And it's a much more efficient way to use your weed. Because ultimately, if you were to smoke a whole gram with this thing, which will probably be about, at minimum, 4 more bowls, I mean, you're going to be a lot more high than smoking that same amount in a joint. And that's because this thing is so much more efficient. So, 55 pounds, it's better for your health. You're using your weed a lot better, more efficiently. You can vape the stuff afterwards if you want. You don't have to just chuck it. So, definitely something I recommend if you're somebody who smokes weed regularly, daily, or you're somebody who wants to, smoke weed in a way that's healthier because you're not combusting anything, you're just vaping it. But anyway, I'll leave some more links down in the description about where to get this thing and other benefits of vaporizing. But yeah, I mean, this thing is awesome, so I definitely recommend it. Thanks for checking out this video.